All right. Now you can even check us.
I can
right?
check to see if we're
You can
live.
Check, yeah. But we are live now.
Microphone check. We're live.
We
What
are
is
definitely
this?
live. Live at the Northeast Home Show at Tiverton's Longplex. Rocking and rolling. You're giving us a little check over there. Yeah. There you go. That's you and that's me. Look how
Hey,
good.
we're right there.
Look how good looking you are.
That's us.
I look
Jeez.
bigger than you today.
What'd you do?
Did
you work out?
I grew. I gave you the short chair.
Oh, nice. I
Give me
like that with the
chair.
short chair.
We were supposed to be on YouTube, and we haven't.
What we can do is we can put this on YouTube later.
We will put it on YouTube. We post a lot to YouTube, obviously. If you follow us, you know that. But we've never done YouTube Live, so we clicked the button to go live today for the first time, and it said that we had to wait 24 hours. And that wasn't going to fucking work.
We
So-
weren't cleared, I guess, to go YouTube live.
We are not cleared. So we had to improvise and get set up, and here we are live on
Well,
Instagram.
if you're seeing us for the first time, we're Blunt Force Business.
Yep. I'm Brian Fauci.
I'm Patrick Marino. We bring the Blunt Force facts. We've been doing it for like a year. We bring the Blunt Force facts, which are the cold, hard, honest truths about your business in order to grow your business, in order to help you become the business leader that you were born to be.
And we're coming to you live today from the Northeast Home Show. And you want to tell them a little bit about the home show? They'll be here all weekend.
Yeah, we're
right?
here all weekend. So today is April 27th. If you're watching the recording, tomorrow is April 28th, Sunday. And tomorrow's actually cool because we're having Kids Day as well.
Family Day.
Family Day, Family Fun Day. So we've got the Northeast Home Show mascot is going to be here. There's going to be activities for the kids, right? So you can come and you can talk to your favorite contractors about your roofing or about your siding or about replacing your windows. We got bed people here. We got people with vacuums. We got solar. So much solar, man.
Although, if there's women listening to us right now, you know what they're doing is they're texting their husband and saying, guess what we're doing tomorrow?
We got to go to the Northeast Home Show.
If men are listening right now, they are diverting their women away from Instagram to not see that they might have to end up here tomorrow.
No, I think Sunday's the day to come.
It is the day to come.
Sunday's the day to come.
It's good family time. There is some cool family fun stuff here. Obviously, we're at Longplex, where there's tons of sports and activities and a bar and food. And so, listen, there's a lot of stuff you can do here and spend a little time, make a little family event out of it. It'll be fun. And get yourself ready for the spring projects. I was doing that before we came here today.
Yeah.
I put up the gazebo, the fabric gazebo thing.
I know what a gazebo is, man.
Yep. I put that up today. Got one of the decks all ready and good to go for spring. So
Awesome.
It was a good kind of spring.
I'm ready for spring.
Yeah, fantastic. So, we're here today, and like we always do, we like to talk to you about ways you can improve your business. And I bet you a lot of companies that we work with, or a lot of you out there, might be attending things like this as a vendor.
Yeah, so if you've ever attended a trade show, this is what you need to watch in order to get good at it.
Absolutely. So this is our trade show special edition live. We'll eventually post later on YouTube as to how to make this successful for you when you do go out there and do that.
Yes, I mean, I know, so for example, I've contacted with a lot of companies that really came to these things and kind of had no idea what they were doing. Or I remember coming to these things when I was like a kid in my early 20s, first couple of jobs, getting out to one of these things and really not having any preparation. The only preparation was you had the iron to iron the backdrop so it wouldn't be wrinkled.
Mm-hmm.
We had like the rolling case which carried the whole setup we had. Those were kind of what we had, but that was really the only preparation. In fact, one time I came out for we were working for a tech company, and I had no idea about the tech that we sold. So there was people asking me like, I can't remember. It was like some big Windows implementation that maybe it was Windows XP back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, can you roll out Windows XP? I was like, yeah, of course we can do that. They're like, well, what are the steps that you guys will take? And I'm like, I don't know. We have all these. we have all these great tech
There's
guys.
some great
they can do it. Yeah.
Perfect. Exactly. Now, the other thing I want to do today too is if you can. I know you can see a little bit behind us. We'll pan the camera around a little later, but you've all been to these kind of shows, and one of the things that's prevalent is you will have large companies with displays that are nicer than my house. So for our small businesses out there, there's still a benefit in you coming to these, and we're going to talk to you a little bit about ways that you can leverage specific things that can make you stand out without having to invest in a $10,000 setup. Because
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's intimidating for small businesses to come here knowing that, or when they go, they'll see a lot of people, with a table, with a backdrop, with all just a lot, right? A lot of money invested in it. And obviously your large corporations are going to have that. But how do you compete with them? And I'd like to chat with them a little bit about that as well, because I think there's some great tips and tricks. You want to get into that now?
Yeah, we can. I mean, I like to start off with, so I've been doing a little bit of the promo for this show here, and what I did was I sent them a little checklist, and I have it in front of us. You guys can't see it. Maybe we'll add a link or something like that to it.
It'll be a worksheet.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be a
We
worksheet.
love worksheets.
We love worksheets. Brian loves worksheets. I usually have to make them and then post them, so I don't love
That's why I
them.
like saying there'll be a worksheet.
It'll be a worksheet. I'll be like, all right, I'll have to come up with it. But here we go. I actually came up with a worksheet for this. And I think that the first thing that a lot of businesses miss is you can do some pre-marketing ahead of the event. Because one of the issues or challenges with marketing is you become you start saying the same thing over and over again.
Mhm.
It's like, buy this, sign up for this quote, or whatever it is. So now you've got something else interesting to talk about. Hey, we're going to be at the home show, or hey, we're going to be at this trade show.
Right.
And it's an opportunity for them to come out and meet you. If you're in a business-to-business environment, now you got people that come out and like, hey, can we schedule a meeting? Can we have a cup of coffee while we're at the show? Can you stop by the booth? Right, it's an opportunity to do some pre-marketing and reach out to people, especially if you've got leads that have indicated interest in the past but haven't followed through. This is your opportunity to reach out for them and say, like, hey, we're going to be at the show. Right now, obviously, the show hopefully will doing some lead generation for you. But I think that doing some pre-marketing yourself is an excellent opportunity for you to not come and waste your time. Right? You're preparing your people. They haven't pulled the trigger yet, and they're going to come out. So one of the things we advise companies to do right away is, like, let's hit your lead list. Let's hit the people who haven't committed yet, and let's have them come out to the show. It's another opportunity to get them in front of you. And they're going to see the value in that too, especially if it's like a home show, right, or a show where they have another kind of industry trade show where there's other things they can see besides your business. It's an opportunity for them to do that as well.
Well, I think that's the incentive, and that's how you can upsell this, and get more people to buy in. If you say to most of your customers, "Hey, let's get together, come see me," that's a very defined thing that's going to happen, and there might be a little pressure to it. Like, all right, I'm going to sit across from you, and you might try to but come visit me at the home show is a fantastic soft sell.
Yep.
Because one, we may chat a little bit, but it's easy for you to disengage, right? So, and there's a bunch of other stuff there. So you're devoting time to not only coming to see me as the vendor, but there's a bunch of other stuff here, so if this doesn't work out, it's not a waste of your time. You come to the show, you see all the things. So I think it's an easier yes,
right,
for maybe a larger audience, as opposed to a cold call saying, hey, can I come out and grab an hour of your time one-on-one? These can be great opportunities. You got to pick the right ones.
right.
I think that's obviously important. So make sure you're thoughtful about the time, and you're going to the right
we've
space.
both consulted with companies, both together and separately, where we have, when we go into this entrepreneurship, especially the small kind of local entrepreneurship, there's a lot of these communities. They're built around companies that own these types of organizations, that own like events, that do like little local like craft fairs and like little local trade shows or whatever they are. And those are great for the trade show, but sometimes for the vendor, it's just the wrong spot. And sometimes you have to go and you have to figure that out ahead of time. But you should always, again, like we're in the pre-show stage still, right? We've let our people know that we're going to be at the show. But to your point, did we do the research ahead of time to figure out, is that our audience? Obviously, a home show, if you're in-home services, that makes sense.
Home services are a lot of different things, right?
Home services are a lot of different things for you.
I like some of the other things you got on there as well.
Hey, I put some time into this.
You did put some time into the pre-show marketing. Why don't you touch through some of those other ones? I like them. I
mean, I think that the other thing is we always stress you should have some sort of offer. I mean, a big part of this is you're in this big arena, and there's a whole bunch of different booths that you can go to. So how do you get people in the door, right? How do you get people in the door? One easy way to get people in the door is to have booth babes, really attractive women, stand out at the front and entice all the men who are all the decision makers because they have all the money.
If you're into that stuff.
No. We don't do booth babes anymore. We used to do booth babes.
You used to be able to get away with it.
Booth babes used to be the one thing. But one big way to do it is just have some sort of compelling offer and have a sign that shows it. So like if you come to the home show and if you act now, what can we give you? Just for coming to the home.
Yeah, special offers that are only going to be viable during this time of the show.
Yeah, or you can even, usually what we'll do is we'll say, okay, we're doing the home show. Here we are in April. For the whole month of April. So leading up to it as part of your marketing, and then and then you've got the offer, right? And so, I think that having some sort of compelling offer, it's just an excuse to get people out. It's a way for you to get ROI, which we should always be looking for, is some sort of return on this investment. So I think that the special offer is definitely a huge one.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. And the social media piece, I mean, we touched on leading up to, but really just kind of pushing forward with as part of your social media marketing a good month before. This is a great thing.
Well, are you checking up on us to see how we're doing?
Don't respond to anybody that has engagement.
Don't. One thing you shouldn't do if you're attending a show is you want to optimize the show, right? Because you are, and I think that another starting point where people make mistakes is they look at the cost to attend. So in other words, let's say it's $2,000 for a booth, right?
Yep.
Look at that as the cost, but they discount the hours that they have to spend at the event, right? So there's a sunken cost into the event. So the only way to get that back is by making sales, right? And we've talked about having the offer. We've talked about doing a good job at the show, but I think that usually each show has some sort of social media strategy themselves. You know what I mean? Whether it's a hashtag that the show is using or whether they have social media channels. Don't miss an opportunity to collaborate with the actual event.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, because the event's probably going to put out and say, hey, would you like to be involved in our promotion?
Yep.
Take advantage of that because that's going to get you in front of a new audience.
Yeah, and now you're leveraging, right? It's the same.
Are we not even live right now? Are we talking to ourselves?
Oh, no, we are. No, we are definitely live. It's the same thing when you do something on your social media and you tag partners specifically to get that out of network reach, right? We always when you're looking at your social media metrics and you're trying to find what's working, what doesn't, what makes sense. One of the big things we always look for is to get that non-follower reach. And things like this can get a lot of non-follower reach.
Exactly.
Because you're piggybacking someone else's big event.
Yep.
So.
Yep. It's definitely an opportunity. And you can engage with other companies as well. Another how can we get ROA out of a trade show? If there's people here that might be potential partners, whether it's in the social media space or whether again, a home show is a good example. You got the window people and you got the roofers. Can we refer each other business, that kind of thing. This is an excellent opportunity for you to network with people who are not in your company but who might be potential referral partners. And again, how can we maximize the event? It's there's other people here who we might be able to talk to besides just potential customers. We need to get the bottom line is just like we talk about all the time, are blunt force facts, right? You measure the results in dollars and cents. How can we get dollars and cents? How can we get ROI out of this? So you have to look for all the potential areas where you can get a return from this investment of not only money and time.
Right. And that's all kind of the leading up to it and, all the big stuff. And then you're here and you got some good stuff for the stuff here in the worksheet that you'll be providing to everybody because you're a good guy. But the engaging booth design, and I think that's one worth kind of talking about and kicking around because I think for some companies, that's very feasible, right? But for other companies that are, they're in that early growth stage, are they going to spend a ton on a booth, when maybe they do a couple a year? Some companies are doing these every weekend. They're traveling the company, they got this massive, they're always out there. So you got to be creative.
Yeah, I think you got to get people.
You got to be creative with your.
You got to look at the space that you're provided, right? So how much space do you have? One thing you always want to do is if you do have the opportunity to kind of have a welcoming area, you know what I mean? Have some sort of opening so people can kind of walk through it.
Yeah.
If you have that, I mean, not a lot of these do, but like I've been to some of them where you have like a big like corner.
Yeah.
So you kind of almost like have an entry and an exit. You
Yep.
can kind of organize it so you have like people
Right,
sort of
create
see,
like a funnel through,
Exactly.
yeah.
People see their way through.
Kind of bring them into your space
Yeah.
instead of the typical I'm behind a desk, my stuff's out there, and you're going to stay out here. Almost creating a place where they can kind of come into the space and
Exactly.
kind of get them and
And then
trap them and hold them and don't let them go.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's really that's really important.
Yeah,
I mean, Booth
Bronx,
Babes,
a little Bronx
Booth
tale.
Babes have
Booth
something
Babes
attractive
and
at the
Bronx
front.
Tale. Key to success at any trade show, Booth Babes, Bronx Tale. Now you can't leave. Okay, you shut the door until you make the sale, then you let them go.
Stereotypically, everybody has like again like let's start off with the lower cost stuff, right? Stereotypically, it's candy, right? Everybody has candy. You have a bowl of candy at the front. Now people are going to come and have a bowl of candy, have a piece of candy. Now you've got an opportunity to grab them.
Yeah.
Right? So that's engaging.
Yep.
And think about things that are creative. I mean, I've been involved in a bunch of really creative things. Any of those spin the wheel kind of things. Spin the wheel, get something. Free gift card, even if it's like a $20 gift card. Like, I mean, it's a small investment versus some of the stuff that you were just talking about that are expensive. The freaking rollout, big designs.
Right.
Get a cheapo wheel that you can probably get through Amazon or through Temu or something like that for $20. Give away a $20 gift card. People are going to come up to that spin because it's really easy to see. You know what I mean? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
how can we, again, engaging, like how can we get people's attention? They're walking around, they see the spin thing. Oh, they're going to walk up to that. They're going to want
Right.
they're going to want to spin that thing.
Yep.
One of the things we did, we were in the Cape, I was working for a Cape Cod company, and we had a hole-in-one competition. So if you get one of those little
That's a
putt
good
mats
one.
out,
That's a good one.
little
Yep.
putt mat out. If you get a hole-in-one, you win a prize.
Yep.
We also had, because we were Cape Cod, somebody just brought one of their mats, like one of their welcome mats from home. It was like
Mhm.
welcome, and it looked like it said Cape Cod on it. It's like, how can we grab people's attention and get them in? Obviously, if you've got a nice backdrop,
Right.
that's great, but what other things can
Yeah.
we do? Have you been involved with any, like, in your, like, One Strategy days or even prior to that, creative booths that you've been in? Or
We had. I'm trying to think of like the most creative stuff is when you can get tech involved.
right.
When you have the ability to get tech involved, it can make it engaging and fun for people. So like this was like design on a dime, right?
Mhm.
So how can you do that? One of the things I always like to do is I'll bring a couple iPads and just set them up, and they'll be maybe like.
Design on the dime, you have like $2,000 iPads. just
Yeah,
hanging around?
you use your computer,
I'm joking,
right?
I'm joking,
You
I'm
use your
joking. Most
computer,
people have iPads, right?
right?
So-
Yeah, and just set it up and have a little B-roll running.
Yep.
Right. If we were doing this, we would set that up and we would have our podcast looping.
Yeah, for sure.
Just looping through. With the book I wrote, I've gone to some book shows with it, and what I'll do is I keep our Art of Fatherhood podcast just looping on the table. Like
I mean, it's April, and coming up soon is June.
Father's Day. Yeah,
Going
it's
to be
Father's
May
Day.
soon. Father's Day is coming up. Look
Yeah.
for the Art of Fatherhood on Amazon. We'll talk about that again.
Yeah,
soon.
put it in the link.
Yeah, exactly.
On the
We'll put-
video,
we'll
we'll send
Art of Fatherhood. You can buy it for sure.
Buy it now. Buy
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So I mean, that's cool. I mean, design on a dime. TVs are pretty cheap now.
Yeah.
TVs are pretty cheap. You get a TV and a stand. You put that in the booth. You run a little video.
Not only just that, but if you think about this, from a $200, you can get a 40-inch TV for under $200,
Yeah.
right? And while that's an expense, what is one of the key things you're trying to do while you're here? It's get leads.
Yeah.
So a TV shows really nice. People still, even though they're not expensive, people still look at them like, I could leave here with a TV, right? And
I mean, a TV is like a giveaway.
as a giveaway.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
absolutely, absolutely. Because like I said, I mean, you're still, if you can get 40 people to put their name and information on a piece of paper for that TV. Granted, are they all going to be like great leads? No, but
Well, if you're at the right show, the chances of them being
Yeah,
at least in the ball, like if you're at a home show
Right.
and you do home services, the
Right.
chances of a homeowner walking over there and putting down their information is not zero.
Right, it's pretty
Yeah,
high,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So there's a good chance that a percentage of them would if they don't use you then, would use you in the future. So then, let's say you get 40. I mean, from a lead generation standpoint, on a $200 TV, that's $5 a lead. most people would pay that.
Yeah,
They'd pay $5 a lead, right? That's not a crazy investment. So I think things like that show big. You don't need too much of it, but kind of get people's attention are a less expensive way to compete with some of these others where there's a lot there to it, and it's going to get your eye right away.
Right.
And,
if you do decide to go down the expensive route, then you kind of have to have your act together. Because one thing you don't want to have is you don't want to hang up the big booth behind you and have it all wrinkled and stuff like that. So as part of your checklist, you get the little hand iron, like the little steamy one or whatever.
little
you can
steam thing.
Steam the wrinkles out of. Just make sure that thing is. If you are going to have like a really big one that's really well designed, you got to make sure it looks nice. You don't want to have something. You want to go all out and then just not be prepared.
On the note of steaming, I want to give a shout out to our man Terry, who gave me that hat steamer. If you remember the hat steamer that he came by.
I don't even know what that freaking thing does. It looks like one of those like old popcorn poppers.
So I've been using the hat steamer. That's amazing. Thank you, Terry. Love that steamer.
What's the hat steamer do?
So it cleans the hat, but also reforms them. You know how hats will get especially the ones that have a hard front. Like if you put them in something, they'll get dented. They don't look right anymore. When you put it on that and steams it, it cleans it and also gives it back its perfect shape. It's fantastic. Yeah.
One of the other things you can do, and again, how you promote this, you can promote it before the show, or you can promote it at the show, right? Have people have a sign out and saying look, at 2:00 Eastern on Tuesday at the show, I'm going to be doing a talk on and show you my expertise. If you're interested in this subject, come back.
Right.
At 2:00.
Right.
Now at this show and some other shows, there are actually workshops where they will promote it for you. So you could do that at this show. We're having a gardening workshop here and a couple of other home builder kind of woodworking workshop. We've had gardening workshops and cooking workshops in the past. But all those things are opportunities for you to show your expertise. So you can do that at your booth too. You'd be look, come back at 2:00. We're going to do a Q&A on how your energy bill will decrease, and we're going to whatever.
Or you could bring the hat steamer with you and steam people's hats.
Come over and get a free steam.
Come over for a free hat steam.
Yeah, exactly.
It wouldn't work that well. It takes 30 minutes to do one, so it wouldn't be. But in theory, the theory of what we're trying to say, maybe the hat steamer is not the thing, but offering people something like that, like a seminar, or hey, if you when you're over here, we're offering this free thing or whatever it is.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, now you're here. Now you're at the show.
Yes.
Okay, this is a big one to me. Okay. First of all, your job is to create leads.
Yep.
And generate leads and capture leads.
Yep.
That is the game when you're at one of these industry shows. I mean, some cases, if you're at a craft show or something like that, you're selling product. But generally speaking, if you're a business-to-business show, or you're something like this where you're not going to sell somebody a roof, you're not going to sign up and here's my check, credit card, swipe it, probably not.
But you'll get them out there to look at your roof.
But we're looking for lead gen, right? So we're doing lead gen. So
I got a roof leak. Speaking of which, I probably should go talk to the roof guy.
Talk to the freaking roof guys here. No, for your lead gen, there's a couple of things we suggest. I mean, number one is don't send 25-year-old me to talk about Windows XP installations because I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. And I think that a lot of companies do that. They know they're going to be at a show for 3 days and it's going to be 12 hours a day. I mean, it's not going to be 12, but it's going to be a few hours a day.
Right.
And they need to fill that time. How are we going to do it? Oh, freaking, let's send the intern, $15 an hour.
Yep.
And they're going to go out there. You really want to have, you can send younger people who don't necessarily know what they're talking about if you freaking prepare them.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's important.
I mean, this is another piece of that, preparation and that interaction. So the interaction's interesting, and I wonder what's your take on, because I think everybody would have a different approach to this. When I go to shows, a lot of times if I'm walking around, I don't really want to engage with everyone, it's you avoid eye contact, right? You'll avoid the eye contact, you'll kind of just glance, and then I'll move on. I don't want to get trapped, right? I don't want to get trapped where I'm looking at, now you got me, right? So, one of the key things to consider is how to engage, how and when to engage, really. How to know when this is someone I should talk to beyond just a, hey, how you doing, or right? Because I think that
I
there's
think-
there's a fine line you walk at these shows of getting people in a conversation they don't want to be in, and now they're just dying to get away from you, but also being engaging.
I think step one is just actually knowing that you have to do that, because there are some people, you can even walk around here at some point and you got people on their phones, they're sitting down at their booth, you know, they don't seem really engaged themselves.
Well, I think that's what I'm
That's
talking
step
about
one-
here. It's
step
like
number-
where's like that line right there. It shows like this of the whole psychology of behavior.
Yeah.
Because where you come across engaging and helpful, but not trapping and also not disinterested.
Well, don't we have to start off with our buddy Adam? Like, you have to come up with an icebreaker, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, how much you paying for your energy bills?
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, excuse me.
Oh, I like that hat.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, come over and spin the wheel and get a chance to win. You know what I mean? Like, come up. You have to have some sort of icebreaker, I
Right.
think. Right. It's like anything. It's like what's going to get people to come over.
Yeah.
You know, without saying, you know, without getting too demanding. It's like, oh, hope you'll stop by. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'd love to have a conversation with you about, you know, whatever it is we're
Right.
selling. Like, so, and not not having a conversation with the product or service. You're having a conversation with the key problem that the product or service addresses. Again, like if I'm solar, it's like, you know, can we talk to you about your energy bill? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you feel like you're spending too much, or can you get them over for the game? You know, hey, you want to putt for the hole in one?
Right.
You know, come on, I know you want. I know you've been looking at it. You know, like so like again, you got to use those engaging types of tactics as well. But those are probably some things you should practice. I mean, if you walk around here, if you go around the bigger booths
Yep.
with the people who look like they're more professional,
Yep.
they've already stopped me, and I have my staff freaking thing on. You know what I mean? Like they're already trying to grab me. I'm like, I'll
Right.
come over and take your picture in a minute. You know what I mean? But like they're already trying. You know, they have something prepared. You know.
Right. Right. And
Can I give you a demonstration on this? You know, if not, we stop by a little bit later. You know, have that in the back pocket.
it's easy to get in the trap of this is uncomfortable and the guy next to me is in a booth and I'm just going to talk to him.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
I'm just going to like talk to the guy in the booth next to me so we can chat, and then people will be walking by and you're engaged with the person next to you because it's easier.
Right.
It's more comfortable. It's not as right, and then so it's those little nuanced things that you're taking the time to be here. So being engaged with what's going on around you, with the people who are coming by, making the eye contact, seeing how they respond to the eye contact. If they turn away, you know, you make the eye contact to them right away. All right, they're probably not coming over. They're probably not a fit for you, right? I like to pause a little bit. I like to engage in like a 5-second pause, because sometimes I think if you make the eye contact too soon, they're not going to even take the time to see what's happening here.
Right.
They're going to like almost pull away. So I'll do like for a 5-second period where I'm watching you out of the corner of my eye. I'm making sure you have an opportunity to look and see what's going on here, and then maybe I'll be like, hey, how are you today, or whatever that line is, to recognize them.
Right.
But I don't do it immediately. I want to see their eyes kind of glance across the table, so now that they've kind of absorbed in a pressure-free environment, without feeling I'm attacking them too soon, they've absorbed what's on my table.
Yeah.
You know, and then I can say, want to putt for dough?
Right. Exactly.
You know, a putt for dough.
One thing I used
Want
to
this
do.
TV?
One thing I used to do, because I'm not that comfortable in those situations,
Mm-hmm.
is I would try and strike up a conversation with the person next to me in the other booth.
Yep.
A way of getting me out of my, you know, kind of into like the social, you know. But then also like, hey, like let's have a little side bet here. I mean, I bet you I can get more leads. I bet you can get more.
Oh, that's fun.
I bet you I can get more people to the table.
That's fun.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
like,
that's
hey,
really
like,
fun.
You know, like, hey, did you get? You know, don't go see him. You know what I have to do with him. Come over here. I can help you with your insurance.
Play it up
Exactly.
against each other.
Yeah,
a
little friendly competition that kind of helps you get out of your comfort zone. And again, for someone like me, because part of the problem is like a lot of these people, like they own their business and they are the business to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Or they're the best
Yes.
because they're the owner. They're
Yep.
the best person to be out there.
Yep.
So this is not natural for them. So like, what little things can you come up with?
Right.
So then you got your icebreaker. You got your little friendly wager with the guy next to you. You know, you've got your eye contact, you've got your all these different strategies that you need to.
Yeah, your giveaway.
Yeah, this is not your. You are great at the actual product or
And
service.
all of this is to try as much as possible to not necessarily have them take your card, but get a bit of their information.
Getting contact information.
You
is
got to
the
get
game.
contact information. You have to make it simple for them. You have to make it enticing for them, easy for them, like, you know, all the things. Just easy. Somebody just scored over there. Someone scored.
Definitely have business cards. Because there's going to be people who don't want to engage
Oh,
with
absolutely. Yeah, I'm not saying
Yeah.
you don't have those things. I just you always need to know what my end goal is,
you.
right?
You have to have something for people to take who are nervous and are not going to come over and talk to you.
Right.
And then you also have to have some as friction free of
Yeah.
a sign up possible as possible.
Yeah. Yep.
So like to me, this is 2024.
You ask for too much information, it's a pain in the ass.
That's true. Yep, that's true. I think in 2024, the number one way of doing this is to have some sort of online form that people can reach through a QR code, and it goes directly into your CRM, right? So
that's the easiest way.
because QR codes right now, everybody knows if they see it, the first thing they want to do is they want to bring their phone over and see what happens. You click on that, it takes you to a form with name, address, whatever it is, the information that you absolutely need. Submit, boom, it goes in there. You give them something, free, whatever. That's one part of it. But I think that's the friction, because there are ways of doing this otherwise, right? You mentioned the iPads, and I've seen this go wrong too, where it's like you have the iPads up, people can fill out their contact information, and then somebody hits the wrong button on the iPad, and then the people are trying to get back. How do we get back to the freaking form? I don't know how to do it. You know what I mean? Or people that had computers back in the day, you'd get off of it somehow. Like, how do we get back to the form? Like, what do we do? And a computer crashed. Computer turned off. Whereas everybody has their phone. Everybody's addicted to their phone.
Yeah, right.
The QR code way is so ezy. And then the other thing I wanted to mention, I know you were going to say something on the QR code.
Yeah, but you cut me off.
Oh, sorry, man. I got home show on the brain. on the QR code, the other piece is like the maybe the easier way for some people is to have a form for people to fill out. But the problem with the form to fill out is you get all these chicken scratches, and then you have to go through the process of putting them in. Whereas if you get them in your CRM, the sky's the limit on what you can do with them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, once you get them in there. The only thing I was going to say, I was disagreeing with the QR code.
Baby.
I think the QR code is a piece you should have there.
Yep.
But I think the pen and paper, for some people, it's easier just to put name, email, phone number.
Right.
Or name, email, right? You don't want to give me your phone number, I get it. Name and email, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just, because I just want to, so multiple ways of grabbing it are good,
Yeah.
right? It all should be tied to, if you've engaged in a conversation with someone now and they're really interested, and it's easy to say, all right, let me get your contact info, we'll follow up.
Yeah.
But for the people that are like just, they're there, they're not really going to maybe move forward in that moment, everything about the giveaway is tied to that,
Yeah.
right? So here's the giveaway, and to enter in, you're going to put down your email and you're entered in, right?
Yeah. I don't like the paper and pen because of the work it is for us. And you know what it is as well? I would way rather fill out something on my phone than on a paper.
You would.
I can't even I can't read my own handwriting anymore. You know what I mean? Like I hate signing things.
Okay.
I absolutely hate it.
All right.
Allow me to put it in with my phone. I can at least type it and I can see what it is. You know what I mean? I can actually read it when I type it. And then the other thing is, I know this has happened. I don't know if this happens to you, but I know it's happened to businesses I've worked with. They go with clipboards. They come back with all the forms. They never make their way into anything because you have to find who's going to take the paper and put it into the system, and then it just doesn't get done. And then before you know it, they've got a whole box full. Where is the box with all the forms that we collected? Like, where is it? You know what I mean? Like that's the problem. Like it's like who do you have to actually do that data entry?
Where's the box?
Where did the box
go?
Where's the box?
Well, that's an operational issue that needs to be worked out because that shouldn't be happening. But does it happen? Yes, it happens.
I think
clearly
it
happens. I'm not going to disagree that it does happen. So
the last part. So now you've got the leads, which is great. You've done all the work, right? You let people know ahead of time. you get people to come out. You're engaging. You have a great booth design. You have an offer. You've got people in the door. You've got some lead gen. You've made it all happen. The other piece where people fail, which is probably like should be obvious, but is follow up. Follow up and follow through.
Well, it's what you do with the, that's, you want to know, you leave the event, and it's almost, you leave the trade show, and you have this feeling of, oh, thank God that's done.
You're probably drained physically.
You're drained, you're tired, you pack all your shit up, you do it quickly, right?
Yep.
So this is to where your point where the QR code option is definitely good, because it gives you, like, you got that stuff stored now, right? So that takes away thing one. If you did put it pen and paper, now there's another step. And if we don't have an admin that can take care of that, or someone that can just input that stuff, then we're doing that too. But then you're right. It's that next part of the follow-up. And so this guy gave me this great 3Ds the other day. And this is where did I tell you the 3Ds? I thought we talked about the 3Ds.
I think we were in the same room when the 3Ds were happening.
Oh, we were?
Yeah.
The 3Ds?
Well, no. Did you bring it up on the call?
I brought it up. Yeah.
That's right.
But do, delegate, or getting.
I was too busy being silly, and I was making up other Ds. So
you're making up other Ds? Yeah.
That's my problem with Ackerman is I always make up other things like SMART goals. I never freaking get the SMART goals.
Do,
right.
delegate, document.
That's
right? So when there's something that has to happen, so when you leave the trade show, all right, I know that I need to follow up with all these people, right? And that has to happen in a timely manner, and I need to get all these things input into a CRM system or whatever I'm going to use to get the value out of this time I just spent. So if you're not doing it right then immediately maybe we're emailing like someone in the office to do it, and if we don't have that, then we are opening our calendar and we're blocking it. We're blocking the time right then and there, because that's where, or if you got your notepad there, you're getting that in the notepad, your little handy dandy notebook that we all carry. You're getting it in there so that when you get back to your desk and you open that up, okay, then we'll block the time in the calendar. But do, delegate, document, the 3Ds.
3Ds.
Patrick had a 4th D, but we're not going to bring that up right now. So.
Eye roll emoji.
Eye roll emoji.
Do you want to take a break and really get into like some lead stuff?
Sure.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
Okay.
Right, but just to kind of follow up here, basically, at the end of a trade show, right? The whole point of the trade show is to make some money, so you have to sell these people, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about how to, what to do with leads, I think. Okay. We're going to take a little bit of a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about what to do with leads. But the close up on the trade show bit is you have to do the work and analyze how the trade show went based on the dollars and cents. How many leads, like do the work. Because then, especially if you're going to a bunch of these industry events, if you're going to other ones, you really want to make sure that you are understanding where our time and money is best spent. You don't want to just be like, here are the 4 trade shows we go to every year, and then someone says, oh, you want to come to this one? Oh, let's go. We'll send Sally. We'll bring all the stuff, and she'll go, and she'll represent the company at this trade show. I mean, that's just the wrong way to operate a business.
Right.
The right way to operate a business is to figure out what are our expenses and what's our return. And what are our expenses in terms of time, money, and time and money are really the two.
I mean, at the end of the day, the minimum expectation is I'm going to get twice the amount of business as this thing cost me.
Exactly.
And if that's not happening, then somewhere in the pipeline we're doing something wrong.
And is it even worth it for me to go to that show? That's one of the things we talk about with some of our business owners is like, stop going to the shows. That's not worth your time. It's not worth, you're not going to get the return. It might be best served selling online or putting that money into marketing and advertising.
Want to know what Blunt Force Fact speaks to that beautifully,
Which
Patrick? Don't talk to strangers.
Don't talk to strangers.
And if you're at the wrong trade show, you're talking to strangers right now.
Exactly.
Right? Don't take candy from me either.
All right, so
we'll be back with some lead gen.
We're at the Northeast Home Show. It's April
Saturday
27th
and Sunday, all weekend. Come here. Tomorrow's Family Day. Don't miss Family Day at the Northeast Home Show. Bring your kids. They can run around, get entertained while you pick out your next home project.
We'll be back in a few minutes.
Bye.
Bye.